This is Dr. Rosie Kuhn, and this podcast series is called Spiritual Immersion, Taking the Plunge. And the intention of these podcasts is to support and empower you to be curious about who you are as a spiritual being having a human experience. Each one of us has a purpose here, and I believe our purpose is to know ourselves, to come here and actually know ourselves as the spiritual being that we are in all our fullness and our expressiveness. It's to, in a sense, unburden ourselves of the karmic debris that we've been carrying. And what I mean by that are we've come here to learn lessons that we weren't willing to listen to or learn before about being kind or generous or being just better for ourselves in the world. A lot more to that I don't necessarily want to get into. That's why I'm stumbling a little bit. Today I want to share a little bit about my resistance to meditation. I've never, ever been good at meditating in terms of sitting without some form of guidance, we'll say, or music. And I've kind of spoken about this in previous podcasts. But one of the things that has gotten in the way is, well, let me put it this way. I've been listening to, as I've mentioned again previously in other podcasts, Joe Dispenza's meditation from You Are a Placebo. You Are the Placebo. And so the meditation is from that book. And it's really quite awesome. And it's 55 minutes long. And I find that when I'm anticipating getting ready to get into it, I'm dreading getting into a depression, into the meditation, because it takes you into a place and into an unknown, right? It takes you in a space beyond your knownness, which is partly all you know from your past. So you don't know who you are without the past, and you don't know who you are beyond that in this present moment. And so that this particular meditation has been extraordinary in terms of saying, okay, we're done with the past. We're done with seeing yourself this way. And now what? And in that now whatness, something happens. There's, and so that part of me that is afraid of annihilation, that part of me that's afraid of dying, the ego death, as we sometimes know it, it doesn't want to do this work. It wants to go and watch some YouTube videos or some Netflix movies or, go play with friends or something. It doesn't want to expand the capacity to live without itself. It doesn't want to do that. And I've had this experience before. Gangaji is a spiritual teacher, some of you may know, and one of her very simple practices is when you are having thoughts that are negative in nature, that are harming to yourself or others, which all negative thoughts are, you just say stop. Just say stop. And when I started this process, especially as a meditation form, if you're having a thought of any sort, you just say stop. And then you have this space. And in that space is where you're learning to be without the thoughts that you always are allowing and or creating. So when I started this process, I would just say stop, but I was afraid because I didn't know what was there if I stopped the ego chattering, the who I thought I was stuff. It was challenging to just be in the space of nothingness, no thingness, no awareness, no me-ness, no oneness, no body-ness. Scary, because we're so attached to the body, we're so attached to our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions, and we're so attached that it's scary to let go and just be in the moment with no thought. Just stop. And science is proving that the more that we can be in this no thoughtness place, this no oneness, no bodiness, no awareness, this place, we have so much more capacity to expand and extend ourselves into the person that we truly are in the fulfillment of our human spirit. And it's an opportunity to let go of the negativity and the worries and the fears and let go of all the beliefs that support that. So it's a very, very interesting process. And it's very daunting for so many of us who are attached to, who am I going to be after I have this meditation? Am I going to be any different? And there's a part of me that, of course, wants to be different. I think every single person who is on a spiritual path has an intention to be different. And if we don't, then we have that attachment to staying the same. And that we grapple with all the time. As I'm sharing with you, I'm grappling with, okay, I just have to let go and just be in this no thingness place, this nowhereness, no oneness, and just be there and see what happens. Just explore and expand into that possibility. Just explore and be curious about what it's like if I'm not having a thought. What's there? Who am I in that? And let go of all the identities that keep wanting attention. So it's a very wonderful practice. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you is that quite often I think there's so many, so many of us who want to be more expanded. We want to know ourselves in our fullest capacity. We want to attract more abundance and more prosperity, more love, more happiness, more fulfillment. We want that. We want more kindness in the world. We want more peace in the world. And at the same time, this part that says, yes, but if I go in that direction, I might die. And that's an ego element that says, I don't want to change things too much, too fast, because I don't know how to handle the uncertainty of who I might become. And that all makes sense. It all makes sense. And so most of us go step by step, and because that's all there is step by step on the path. But sometimes we step, and then, like I mentioned, I'll go watch a YouTube video, or step. Then I go watch a Netflix movie, or step, and then go out and play with a dog or something. But there's those elements of it gets too scary. And so being aware of that is a really good thing. And being aware is this is just acknowledging this is scary for that part of you that's so attached to the world the way it is and the consensus view of reality. And at the same time, we're curious about what else is there. How big am I? How amazing am I? What's the fullest potential of my being? And so we're in this push and pull. And so what I want to do is just support you in and acknowledge you for being where you're at, and just listen for what that voice is inside that says it's too scary. And it's like, I get it. It's scary. And at the same time, think about what you really want. What's your highest intention, your goal, or if you will, or your commitment. Mine is to know myself in my fullest potential, my fullest potentiality. What is that? Who is that? What's that look like? And this particular meditation I'm doing with Joe Dispenza has been very valuable in allowing me to see where I'm afraid. It's like, wow, I'm afraid of that. And I've talked about this in previous podcasts, but I think it's really worth noting this stage of where we really have the opportunity to cross over that threshold of fear and really explore something more magnificent of ourselves. So that's what I want to do, is just encourage you to be present to, it's scary, it is. And there seems to be unknown in those moments where you say stop, and what's there when you say stop, what's left, and you go, wow, I didn't die. I used to, when I would do this at night, in getting ready for bed, and I'd be in bed, and my thoughts would go, and I'd just say stop, because for me it was a way to quiet my mind, and then I could fall asleep. But that fear of who am I if I stop my thoughts is big. And then I realized, well, when I'm sleeping, and I've obviously stopped my thoughts, I survive. I wake up in the same person. So if that happens, then perhaps I can consciously choose to say stop and see what happens. So I'll leave you with that today. Sending you big hugs and love. And if you'd like to contact me for possible coaching or other questions you might have, just email me at rosie@theparadigmshifts.com. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, big hugs. Bye for now.